everybody? Here we are again on the floor. Busy Saturday. John Boy, actually, you guys heard him on the show. We talked to him Friday, yesterday. I don't even know what day it is. It's Saturday. It's busy. It's crazy. David Walker. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Sweating, having fun, though.
It's crazy, though, isn't it? It's nuts here. And
yeah.
I go over to say hi to John Boy, and now I'm being interviewed.
And you end up on camera.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
So let's tell them, why are you on camera? You got a lot of stuff to talk about. So
yeah, well, I'm a writer. Those of you that don't know me, I'm co-writing 2 books right now. I'm co-writing Naomi over at DC with Brian Bendis, and Bitter Root over at Image with Chuck Brown. I just had a book come out in January, The Life of Frederick Douglass through 10-Speed. It's an original graphic novel. Bitter Root, our Image title, just got optioned by Legendary for film. Just finished a Kickstarter for my company, Solid Comics. And yeah, it's just kind of crazy. I'm losing my mind. It's a nutty day already.
But, I mean, sounds like in a good way, though.
Yeah, and it's all good, but it's also, you know, you walk around and people want your autograph, and you're like, well, I'm just a guy with a bag of comics right now, you know. But it's good. My career's in a good place, and I'm doing a lot of self-publishing now with projects that are near and dear to my heart that I knew I wanted to do, but didn't want to deal with some of the headaches or heartbreak of dealing with other publishers. So that's why I started Solid Comics. I'm going to try to convince John Boy to work with me. I'm working with J.J. Kirby on a project, Brett Weldley on my first book through Solid Comics, which is called One Fall. It's a professional wrestling book.
Well, let me go with that. First, congrats on the company. Let's go with that. You can name names if you want. I'll leave it up to you. What have you learned, whether heartbreak or the good things, that you're bringing here?
Well, you know, part of it is that you walk into any comic book store and there's a limited amount of space on the shelf.
Right.
And it can be very difficult for retailers to carry everything that's available. It can be very difficult for publishers to push stuff. And a lot of times, stuff just gets lost in the shuffle. But when you come to a convention like this, you're able to meet fans, you're able to hand sell things. And what I realize that not every project I do needs to be through a big publisher. In some cases, smaller projects work better if you do them yourself. And so I just decided there's a couple projects that I wanted to do that either the offers that were being made weren't great offers. They weren't terrible offers, but I was like, well, you know, I could do that myself. You know, I could, oh, you're not going to give me any money in advance? You're not going to, there's not enough money to pay an artist? And, yeah, okay, well, and then you want to own part of the IP? Well, why would I do that? If you're giving me nothing, I can give myself nothing, right? I don't need anybody to do nothing for me. So it was, and again, it's not every single project, and I'm still happy with the work I'm doing with Image, happy with the work that I'm doing at DC. I just did some top secret stuff for Marvel just a few days ago, so I'm still doing that stuff. But sometimes you just want to create comics and you don't want to have to jump through the hoops and have a publisher worry, well, how many units can we move? Well, you know, if I sell 1,000 units of a comic that I've published myself, I'm doing pretty good. But if Image or Dark Horse only moves 1,000 units, then they're all going to be pretty disappointed. And they're all going to be like, well, we lost money on you. Well, we don't need that kind of headache. I'm just going to do it myself.
So with Solid Comics, I mean, how are you going to bring artists to work with you?
Oh, man, I call up the artists that I know. I got a blackmail file on everybody, right? So, no, it's a lot of it. So Brett Weldley, who's the artist that I'm working with right now on this book, One Fall, he's someone I've known for about 20 years, and we talked about doing something together. And then I said to him, what do you want to do? He said, well, I'd love to do a book about professional wrestling. And I was like, well, let's talk about that. And then we developed it. J.J. Kirby and I are doing a project together, and it was something that he'd wanted to do. So I asked him, what do you want to do? Doing another project called The Hated, and that was me looking for a long time to find the right artist. I found a guy named Sean Hill. He's based out of Washington, D.C., and I think I spent 2 years convincing him, you're the guy to draw this book. You're the guy to draw this book. So a lot of it was just being patient. It was just taking time and being patient.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to open the floodgates or anything, but are you going to bring in new artists?
I am looking for new artists to work with, but the key thing, I'm only publishing stuff that I've written. Right now, that's it. The only other writers I would consider is if my mom wrote something or if my lady wrote something. Everybody else, because publishing ain't easy. And but part of the reason I'm here at this show, I'm walking around checking out who's in Artist Alley, talking to people about maybe doing some short stories. Met an artist out of Kenya over there, and was like over in the small press section, and I was like, yo. So I'm definitely looking for artists, but a lot of it's just about making sure that there's some money to pay people, because the most important thing as a comic book writer, if you don't have the money to pay an artist, then you better find an artist who wants you to write for them. That's the difficult thing. So,
so let them know where they can find out.
Best place to find me is davidfwalker.com, because that site is live. It hasn't been updated in a while. And then Solid Comics with an X, that website will be up any day now. And that's where you can find me. And I'm on Twitter, DavidWalker1201. I forget all the other. I'm bad with the self-marketing, but yeah.
Well, no, it's not that you're bad. You're busy.
I'm busy. I'm too
that.
busy for that stuff, son. Yeah.
Pretty soon you'll have an intern who handles the social media.
I'm working on it.
That's how it works. So David Walker, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with everything.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.